Good afternoon. I'm James Wright with the Longhorn Historical Society, and I am here at Wright Square in downtown Savannah. This was named after the last royal governor of the colonial period by the name of James Wright. We have the same name. Today we're going to talk about the transition that the colony took from the trustee period, where Oglethorpe led it, to the royal period, where it was overrun or ran by royal governors, John Reynolds, Henry Ellis, and the final one, James Wright. So sit back as we are going on location to learn about the colony's transition from the trustee period to the royal period. Here we go. Colonial Georgia began in 1733 with Oglethorpe's Landing and established in the city of Savannah, and ended with Georgia's independence movement in 1776. It is further broken down into two parts: the trustee period, which lasted from 1733 to 1751, and the royal period, which lasted from 1751 to 1776. By the end of the 1740s, the colony was in serious trouble. Georgia had successfully secured the southern frontier from the Spanish, but the economy was crashing. This was fueled by competition from South Carolina and growing discontent from Savannah citizens about the strict rules on land ownership and slavery. Therefore, there would be significant changes that occurred in the colony from the trustee to the royal period. This is what we're going to be talking about today. Talking about these four significant changes that would occur: land ownership, slavery, alcohol, and government. Now, the rules concerning land ownership, the sale of rum, and slavery were relaxed or ended during the twilight of the trustee period, and the colony of Georgia profoundly changed during the royal period. We're going to measure these changes today. The trustees were frustrated with the lack of economic success of the colony and officially surrendered Georgia's charter to the British government 1 year before it expired. The first thing we're going to talk about is land ownership. The land ownership rules were relaxed in the royal colony. More land could be purchased as slavery was creating a need for more fertile land. Women were allowed to own land. Georgia's population grew due to the improved land policies. As more settlers moved to the colony, Georgia's economy would grow and its borders would expand. The second change that occurred during the royal period, or from the trustee to the royal period, was slavery. In 1749, just prior to the royal period, slavery was allowed in Georgia. Between 1750 and 1775, the number of slaves increased from 500 to 18,000. Slavery was a boon to the colony's economy as agricultural production began to explode, particularly on rice plantations. The third change occurred with alcohol, which was transported into the Georgia colony by the way of South Carolina, causing disputes between the colonies. By 1742, the prohibition against rum and harder spirits was no longer enforced in the Georgia colony. And by 1749, the Rum Act was repealed by Parliament. That means it was done away with. During the royal period, rum production increased in the colony. The final change that occurred was government. As a royal colony, governance of the colony was returned to the king. He utilized royal governors to administer the colony. If you remember from the beginning of this clip, Governor James Wright, was a royal governor. Trustee laws were repealed. During the trustee period, the trustees ruled the colony with Oglethorpe leading here in the colony. During the royal period, the royal governors introduced self-government, elections, a court system, and established counties in the Georgia colony. Because the rules were so strict during the trustee period, the colony wasn't really successful according to why it was founded, especially economics. The rules really prevented any type of economic growth, but as the royal period began and the rules were relaxed, especially on land and slavery, crops like rice, indigo, and tobacco became very successful. Georgia would become a successful colony during the royal period and beyond. This is Jim Wright with the Longhorn Historical Society saying goodbye and have a great day.